The all-new 2026 Honda Prelude has got to be one of the most controversial new cars of at least the past 5 years. And oh my goodness, if y'all have got some crazy takes and very passionate opinions on this thing. It's too expensive, there's no manual, doesn't do the badge justice, it's too slow. You haven't even let me drive the darn thing. This is our first chance to actually get behind the wheel out on some good roads. Let's go see what all the fuss and controversy is all about. Yep, right off the bat, folks, this thing is very much the sum of its parts. And that is a fancy way of saying it feels like a Civic Type R with the hybrid Civic drivetrain. And that's because it is unchanged version of the Civic Hybrid's drivetrain. We've got the naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder twin electric motors, making a combined 200 horsepower and 232 pounds-feet of torque. And if that doesn't sound like a whole lot, well, it's because it's not really a whole lot. It is exactly what you get in the standard Civic. So where does that extra $10,000 come from? Because the base price of this is just over $43,000. And if you want to compare this directly to the closest kind of analog to this, that it would be a fully loaded Civic Hybrid Touring, because this comes one spec. You have no options other than some upgraded paint. This beautiful blue paint is an extra $455. And you've got your choice of wheels, which I think add an extra $1,200 or so. So in that regard, where does that extra 10 grand come from? Well, it comes from under the skin. The okay part is the drivetrain, but the most interesting part of the new Prelude, other than the styling, is that it takes much of its bones from the current Civic Type R. And as you probably imagine, that is a very, very good thing because, well, the Civic Type R is one of the best driving compacts ever. So do the bones of a Honda Super Hatch make for a bit of a Honda Super Coupe? No, not really. This thing is definitely not as quick as it looks, and it probably isn't as quick as you're hoping, especially with just 200 horsepower, which is about the same as the last Prelude was 25 years ago. But context here is crucial, especially historical context. It's been more of a gentleman's coupe from Honda versus like a Civic Type R or Civic Si or Integra or something like that. This is and always has been based on another car in the lineup. So before it was kind of an Accord coupe. I've driven every previous generation of Prelude, all of them in museum quality from Honda's collection themselves. And let me tell you, they're not as exciting as you might remember them being. And yes, I know that these are bone stock. And yes, I'm taking them within the context of the era. They very much drive like Accord performance-ish Accord coupes. And in the same way, this kind of drives like it's not so much an Accord as it is the Civic Hybrid, but this is definitely an elevated version of that. Not only is this by design more of a kind of grand touring experience, in the sense it's more comfortable, it's well equipped, comes fully loaded, you've got tons of space for luggage in the back, you've got a rear seat if you want to throw some really small adults on there in emergency, or use it like I would as kind of a parcel shelf or to put some luggage back there. So one, the Prelude has never been really a barn burner to begin with in terms of performance. And number two, it's always been used as a platform to showcase advanced Honda tech, at least for Honda, that might trickle on down to other production models in their lineup. In this case, the Prelude has the S Plus shift function that augments the hybrid drivetrain. It's basically fake shifting profiles for the drivetrain. So you have a set of nice metal paddles here on the steering wheel. You hit that button, which is available in any of the drive modes, which run from Comfort, GT, which is like the balanced, and the Sport drive mode. And, well, you can downshift, you can upshift. So in function, it is just fake shifting, really. It's nothing new that we haven't seen on a CVT. It might be new for hybrid drivetrain, something like this. Honda's touting this as the next thing that you might see on a special edition or maybe a little higher performance trim of a Civic Hybrid or something like that. But in practice, not that exciting. There's not a whole lot of feedback from when you're up or downshift. There's no really performance difference, and it doesn't let you hold redline. It maybe goes to redline, but it will shift rather quickly after that, automatically, whether you're in the manual mode or not. Fake shifting or not, it is a very artificial driving experience. It is almost exactly like going out on a canyon road and just whipping on a Civic Hybrid. That's really, I'll be honest, is what it feels like, other than it handles, brakes, and turns a little bit better. It is still a fun car to whip around in the right environment on the canyon road, as long as you know the fun limitations of the drivetrain. It's definitely got way more chassis than power, so it's one of those kind of cars you can really come out here and just basically floor it everywhere. Not that satisfying to do that, like I said, with that powertrain. It almost, and I hate to say this, I know this is going to get some serious flack, but it almost would have been better as kind of an EV coupe. Oh, I know. That's a super hot take. I don't know if I even stand by that. But I'm just out here. It's just not a very satisfying powertrain. Now, Honda is positioning this Shift Plus tech as the what's going to make up that $10,000 Golf. I really don't think that between the Civic and the Prelude, I really don't think that's the case here. You're going to be buying this because you like the style, you really like the fact that it's got Type R hardware, and you really like the name. And I completely understand that. And for some people who just drive in traffic all the damn time, this would be a great little sports coupe, provided you can afford it. And I think that $43,000, it's a lot of money when the experience is so similar, roughly speaking, to the car below it, the Civic. You kind of have to make up for it in just the suspension, the style, and for some people that will be enough, and for others it won't be. And that's okay. This is very much one of those you love it or you hate it cars, or you get it or you don't. Not for me. This is not the sports coupe for me, but I'm more of a Type R guy. And this is cheaper than a Type R, and it's more stylish than a Type R. And it's certainly more usable in traffic than a Type R. You see, I'm going back and forth here. Takeaway here is sharp little sports coupe, let down by its drivetrain, despite the fact that it looks pretty good, turns in really nice, and out on the real world, drives quite well. For the first time in a very long time, I come to the end of all of this, unable to definitively tell you that this is a good car, an okay car, or a bad car. It's really all what your priorities are when you're approaching the new Prelude. For example, I think this is a rather nice and well-equipped sports coupe, but just an average performance car overall. And for some people, that's exactly what they're looking for. So in the support of both the haters and the lovers of the new Prelude, this thing drives exactly as you think it does. Here's my hot take. I'm just happy this thing exists in the first place. Between no new Prelude and a new Prelude, I'll take this thing. It's certainly interesting. Now, I have so much more I want to say on the new 2026 Honda Prelude. For my full thoughts and review, you got to go to Cars.com/news.